Do dreams and desires change as people get older? The Age of Love is a humorous, award-winning documentary that follows 30 adventurous seniors who put their hearts on the line for the first of its kind speed dating event exclusively for 70 to 90-year-olds. Joining me now are AARP sex and relationship expert, Dr. Pepper Schwartz, and the film's director, Stephen Loring. Welcome to the both of you.
Thank you.
All right, Stephen, so what made you decide to put this documentary together?
Well, the story began when it was kind of a personal story, actually, because I was looking for a topic for a film, and my dad had passed away recently, and my mom was reaching 70, and she had never really been without an emotional connection. And for the first time in her life, she was kind of alone in the world. And that same year, I had an uncle who was in his 70s and who had never been on a date even, met a woman, she was nearing 80, and they fell in love like teenagers again. There was the holding hands, and their bedroom door was locked, and it was just like, you know, we were all thinking, like, there's a lot of things going on in this generation that we don't really talk about or see portrayed in the media. And I guess as an unmarried, middle-aged filmmaker, I thought, well, there's a journey for me there too. So,
And what did you gain from that?
Well, what did I gain from it? I think, you know, I think just the idea that there's a lot to be addressed out there. I mean, when I approached some of the people who were in the movie, I thought they're never going to want to be on camera. I mean, they're from a generation when you don't talk about those kind of issues. But the first woman I met said to me, I would love to talk. She said, my children love me, they do things for me, they take care of me in every way, but they never ask me about what's in my heart anymore at this point in my life. And I'd be happy to talk to, I'd be thrilled to tell somebody what I'm feeling. And so I knew at that point there was a story to be told here, and all the other seniors who joined in kind of shared that. Everybody signed up to be in the they signed up for speed dating, and then they signed up to be in the documentary just because they thought it was time to talk about what was in their heart.
All right, Dr. Schwartz, you smiled because you know that there are so many of these stories out there.
Yeah, just because our face ages doesn't mean our heart gets crinkly and unusable. I mean, we still are alive, and we want to be loved, and we want to give love.
What is it that people, the younger generation, doesn't understand about that older generation when it comes to sex and relationships?
I think we're so age phobic, so age averse, that I think part of it is they don't want to know, that they're going to be the same at 70 as they were in some ways at 17. So I think they're also afraid of aging, and I want to say, hey, it's not the end of your life. You'll still be in love. You could still be passionately in love. You could still enjoy sex. And don't treat your grandparents like their life is over as an emotional being. Treat them like you would treat anybody else.
That's right, and we really do need to think about that. Stephen, in the film, these are folks who were looking for love, or were these folks already, did they need to be inspired?
Well, I think the interesting thing is that they're the great invisible masses of everyday suburban older people who were fascinated by the idea that an event was coming that gives them the opportunity to, to explore what it is that they desire. I mean, senior centers, and I mean, there's no bars to go to when you're 70 or 80. There's no place to really...
Who knows, they might come up with that.
They might, right. But they were excited to be a part of it, and to just, I mean, it was empowering for them to see that there's a way that they can still try to express who they are and connect with other people.
And of course, you're showing this to the AARP audience. What do you think people of that generation are going to learn from this film, Dr. Schwartz?
I think they're going to be inspired. These are people who are not glamorous. They've got the signs of age. They weigh 30 pounds more than they used to or more. But I think one of the things that senior, and I'm sort of averse to that title, people, over 50 that AARP caters to, that they have a lot of life in them. They're searching for love. They can go online. They can go do speed dating. We at AARP.org offer kind of dating for age-appropriate audience. I wrote a book, about dating over 50 for part of the Dummy series. There's actually a lot of things they can do, but they have to realize that they're out there. And so the film's very permission-giving, and I think it's very touching, and it's very humorous, too. I mean, life is its funny moments in dating, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Stephen, if you can share a funny moment, can you do that?
A funny moment.
In the movie or the documentary that you shared with the audience?
Well, let me think for a second.
I'll think of one while give him a moment to recover here, because sometimes they're unintentionally funny. Like, one of the things I tell people not to do in dating is give your entire health history. And there's this one guy who has lots of problems, and every time he meets someone, he unloads everything that's ever been wrong with him ever, and you want to take him by the collar and say, you don't need to do that, but you can't help but find it humorous.
So it's like when you date anyway, they always tell you don't give up so much information when you start dating anybody at any age. So was that a funny moment there, Steve?
It was, because he didn't even realize he was doing it. I think it was, the topics of conversation when you're 75 years old and you have an oxygen tank are typically surrounding your health issues. And you don't think, well, I'm meeting somebody new. That's not really date-appropriate conversation. But, I mean, his heart was in the right place, and he was thinking he was sharing his, personal information and making a connection.
Did he make a connection?
In the movie, not with this woman exactly, but in the movie, in the end, he says, I haven't found the love of my life yet, but I'm still looking. And he said, and I feel more aggressive now. He said, I never talked to women in the grocery store, but I do now. And I went to eHarmony and put all my information online. So he found that there is a way to, to approach this new stage in life and all his desires, and to do something about it.
Sounds like a film we need, all of us need to go see. For more information about the Age of Love movie, go to theageoflovemovie.com. And more expert advice about sex, dating, and relationships from Dr. Schwartz. You have your latest book, and it's Dating After 50 for Dummies.
Yes.
That's available anywhere, I presume.
Right, and they can also go to AARP.org. We have a partnership with the dating site, How About We? They can go to my column, The Naked Truth, and get more information. And they can come to their local state AARP and see what it has to offer them.
That's right. That's AARP.com/CT for those of us here in Connecticut. Thanks so much, Stephen, Dr. Schwartz, for sharing.
Thank you.
And I love that funny story. We definitely need to see this film.